Hello, everybody. This is Greece Noir with the Noir Conversation, and today a particular topic came across me this morning, and I wanted to talk about it. And I want America as a whole to admit that the hippies were right, man. The hippies were right. In the late '60s, America did a campaign against both black people and hippies. I think uh, civil rights, the Vietnam War. At that time, what was it? I think Nixon was president after in the late '60s, and he had beef with the two groups, two groups that were giving him trouble: blacks and the anti-war left. Uh, the anti-war left could be summarized as the hippies. Um, and to dilute their arguments or people diving into their arguments, they instead use underhanded tactics to get folks to eschew what they were saying. For instance, they related hippies to drugs and use cocaine and crack and heroin to relate black peoples to. So now when you think hippies, you think drug users. You think black people, you think drug abusers. That's not true. Not true in the least. One of the main drugs hippies used was marijuana. And we know the truth about that today. We know marijuana would have cut into the market of the cigarette market and the beer market or alcohol market. Marijuana is better for you than the average cigarette. It relieves stress. It helps with mental impairments, ADHD, ADD, dementia, amnesia, seizures. It's a pain reliever. Marijuana was one of those miracle. If it wasn't cast in the shadow of hell, like when people think of marijuana, they think, "Oh my God, this is dangerous. Don't grab your children, grab your pearls, get away from him. He's a druggie." When we now know you could smoke marijuana for like hours straight and still function at work. I wouldn't endorse that. I wouldn't suggest that, but it is true. You could still function under marijuana. You could drive a couple hours to the store, or drive fucking here or there. You could uh, get behind, still stack aisles. You could still do laborers jobs and still be high on marijuana. It yet still today it is listed as a category one drug, schedule one drug. I'm sorry. You know what else is a schedule one drug? Cocaine. Anybody that knows marijuana knows it, and knows cocaine knows marijuana is not cocaine. Cocaine is severe hallucinogen, delusional slash impairing. You are under the influence immediately. Uh, Whether you use it as an upper or use it as a suppressant, it is dangerous. Marijuana doesn't come close. Does not come close. Um, shit. I mean, coming from where I'm coming from, folks used to say marijuana was never going to be legal until big companies, and I'm pretty sure this is around the board, until a big company figures out how to um, how to take it and make money on it exclusively. and get people not to grow it in their own backyards. And unfortunately, that's what it looks like it's coming to. Still illegal in a few states to even grow your own marijuana plant, even though marijuana is one of those plants that can grow in numerous environments, and it's not even an invasive plant like weeds, where it spreads out and steals nutrients from other vegetation in the area. It's actually very local and doesn't take much, but banned regardless. Um, but that's not exactly what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the anti-war position that hippies had at that time when the term hippie was coined and rising. I think it was the Vietnam War and the Nixon campaign. Did he start it while he was running for president or after he was president? Regardless, they tried to equate hippies to soft, uh, flagrant, un-American, cowardly, druggy. But they were right, man. Peace, peace was how you would have got it. Relax, smoke the J, re- relieve your own stress. But unfortunately, they were up against American imperialism and the never-ending hunt, America's never-ending hunt for another a conflict. They had no hope. America is good at propaganda when it comes to war. Um, so despite them being right about peace, uh, extending a hand of concern and care rather than pointing the gun, apologizing forthright, and sending aid rather than trying to crush Vietnamese or the Viet Cong, as they called them, tried to call them. America still put out the propaganda that they were right. War was the right position. So much so that even when soldiers returned from Vietnam, because of how badly it was going for America, soldiers weren't getting the same treatment they got during World War II. The whole welcome home hero treatment. That's how much the propaganda machine in America works. Even to this day, we equate hippies to softness, to drug abuse. Hippies, well, what? Meditation, yoga, marijuana, all three we know today help the human body, especially that marijuana. I will not give that up. Marijuana would have is better for you than drinking, and it does more for you than smoking. And we know yoga helps keeps you flexible, keeps you your blood circulating. We now use it for elderly patients, or try to get elderly patients in it, and keep younger folks youthful using yoga. Meditation Meditation's always been good for the mind and the body, helping to relieve stress. And for the life of me, bro, I don't understand how we know now that they were right, yet we don't fix the context of how we view them. It's still in the history books. Hippies were the history books have softened, but still they list hippies as give a little twang of un-American in it, of going against us as America was right and they slightly were poking us. You know what I mean? And I'm wondering when will we fix that, especially as we know what America is. For 400 years, America has made consecutive decision after consecutive decision of bad choices and covering its tracks using propaganda. And when I say propaganda, I also include the changing of history, uh, changing the history books in order to reflect America being right, despite everything otherwise. I just want to put my viewpoint out there. Uh, I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like this, or if more folks feel the same. I'm starting to see a lot of things play out the same way. Just like hippies are just another notch on America's belt of how they influenced everything and just knocked them off, uh, knocked them off the tracks and put a notch on the belt. And as we know, America has belts upon belts upon belts with notches upon notches on those belts. Um, and and I'm wondering, when are we gonna change? When are we gonna change? America just keeps trucking along without admitting that they've done anything wrong. So much so that it's hard to get folks today to admit that without uh, accusing anybody of being un-American for suggesting them. I don't know, man. Y'all have a good day, man. I just wanted to put that out there, man. Welcome to the New York conversation. This is what it's gonna be like.